Hello guys, welcome to a new year, and welcome back to Lad's Garage. Uh, we got done with the overhead console for Fireball. That is installed. You guys get a good look at that over on Lad's Garage Trucking Diaries. But, like I said in the last video, we're going to get back to the Pinewood car. I know I said in the last video, where I kind of gave you guys a little teaser on the car. So I figured I'd go ahead and show you guys the almost finished product. So here it is, guys. This is almost finished product. It's still got a few little flaws. You can kind of see there's some bleed through on the masking tape. I'll show you how I cover them up, even on the front. Overall, it didn't come out bad. It doesn't quite have the Supra look that I was going for. I think I said before, kind of more of an Astro Martin type look. But the goal I'm looking for on this one is more of a tuner drag car type thing. So we got the bigger rim style up on the front and the smaller, fatter tire on the back. These are both BSA legal wheels. This is stamped on the inside. This is stamped on the outside. They're not fully mounted in yet, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that in this video. So as far as paint goes, I spray paint all my cars. I do not hand paint them. Although, I will show you one of my little touch-up secrets on the paint, because like I've said, there's a few little flaws in it. Sharpie. Some people can get fancy with the paint pens. I don't have any luck with paint pens, or at least I haven't ever had luck with paint pens. They got Sharpies in like every color. Since we got gold wheels, we might do some gold trim on the car. So that is my little tip on the paint. Once I get the trim and all that on there, I'll take some car wax. That's what I use on the paint after everything's all said and done with. All finished up, I wax the car. Now I might put 50 layers on it, but the reason I don't do it off the get-go is because we still got to go through and put the graphite on the axles. And I'm going to take you guys, get the camera right, take you guys through all that, but first I'm going to go through, I'm going to touch up the paint and get that all done. Then I'm going to pull the axles out and show you how I line them all up and do all that fun stuff. Here's the end result of me going wild with a Sharpie. Kind of did a black outline in the blue areas and gold through the black. Lad's Garage, 56. Did some gold trim around the windows. I think it looks pretty neat. Kind of want it to look loud, obnoxious kind of. Guess I could do some gold along the racing stripe. That would set it off, wouldn't it? Maybe too much gold. I love gold. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think it looked kind of neat, actually. Let's hit it. One of the important steps to having a efficient Pinewood car is lubing the axles. We're not allowed to use liquid lubricants like WD-40 or PB Blaster or anything like that, but we can use graphite. I got several different brands, I guess you could say. We got this from the This comes from Hobby Lobby. And we also have Lube from the Scout Shop. I've never used this specific brand. Used to be able to get this from Hobby Lobby. Comes with a little needle head on it, and sometimes the little head gets plugged up, but that's fine. We can. I like this one because I can get into the axle, in between the axle and the wheel. You know, when we're putting it in, we can get in right there around the axles. It just becomes really nifty. I mean, even when the wheel's on the car, we can still get in and get up in between the head of the axle and the wheel. So that's why I kind of like this one. Some people don't. I do. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pull the axle out of the wheel. I'm going to take the wheel. What I like to do is get the wheel upside down. What I do is I put my finger over the end of the hub here. Take my graphite. I spray that in there. You guys see, you got a little mound there. I kind of pack it in. Then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put my finger over this end, flip it over, and we're going to grab my axle. It's pretty tight in there. I can't really get a good angle because I only got 2 hands and I need about 5 right now. We're going to take this. We got the axle in there, and we're going to kind of run it through. What we've done is we've got a lot of graphite on the inside of the hub here. We're going to spin this sucker like this. We're going to stand it up. Keep on spinning it. What we're doing here is running the graphite into the plastic of the wheel. This graphite is, like I said before, is nasty. It's going to get everywhere. What we need to do, we need to put just a dab. Try not to get too crazy because, like I said, it gets everywhere. Put a little dab on the outside edge of the hub. We're going to spin it. The more you spin it, the more, in my opinion, the graphite gets into the wheel. One of the downfalls to using wax on a car, you put your graphite on and you touch the car, well, now you got graphite fingerprints all over your car. We can keep they say you can over lubricate an engine, which I don't know if that's true or not. But you cannot over graphite these wheels. I'm going to keep working it in. I usually drop my axle at least 3 or 4 times. We're just going to keep working it. Something else that I do, since I also kind of groove the axle a little bit, I'm really not liking using this bottle without the needle on it. But you can also take your graphite and it's gonna get snagged into our little groove there. Can't go wrong. You just cannot go wrong doing it like this. Use something to push the graphite back in. We're going to have to clean this up. Probably have to touch up the paint on our wheel when we're all done, but that's fine. Work that sucker in there, get as much graphite as you can. Sticking to the axle now, which is what we want. We're gonna work it in there. We're twisting the axle back and forth on the inside. We're gonna go back to spin it up a little bit. I'm liking it. I am liking it. Now I got everything graphited up. We're ready to put the wheels in. Something I've already done is make a kit, a tool, which I don't have readily available, but it allows you to almost make a perfectly straight axle hole. And I've already pre-drilled my axle slots out, so it's easier to put the axles in. And I'm telling you guys this because there is a little science behind it. While these look like just a nail, one of the worst things you guys can do for your axle is to drive it in like a nail. You want something to push the axles in, something small but sturdy. You don't want to, like I said, you don't want to drive your axles in like a nail. So I use two things. Like I said, I usually use a small screwdriver, but I think I'm going to use something like this on the older axles. If I have this tool here, it's got a slot in it that fits. It's like the perfect width of the stock block, but it's got this slot in it. It's also got a spacer on it. I forgot what the exact spacing is between the wheel and the block is supposed to be, is what the exact measurement is that they say is perfect. But it's like 3 business cards thick, or this, however thick that is. I don't have a way to measure that small, but that is what they recommend on spacing. So I'm going to use this and do my best to get all this put together real quick. So we got us a rolling car here. So I'm going to flip this up. I'm going to do my best where you guys can see it. Put this in the slot, just like so. Alright. This one of the back wheels. Still got a little graphite on it. Spin a little bit of graphite off. Alright. It may just slide in there, or it may not. There it goes. It's going in there. Go as far as we can get it. You can see I'm doing my best to hold this block in. I'm just going to push that in like that. It's snug up against this here spacer. We're just going to work it out. We got a wobbly wheel on the car. It rolls. That's a good sign. And we're going to do the same thing for the other side. There's always this dilemma with everybody. Do you 3-wheel? Do you put all 4 on? I always have all 4 close to touching. Sometimes one might just be just a touch up, but I try to make them all look like they're touching. So do it how you want to do it. I like to be as close to 3-wheeling as possible, but I'm gonna get these last two in real quick. It's gonna be the same method. All right, wheels are all four on there. Um, Problem that a lot of the kids I see come in and race our Pinewood Derbies. One of the biggest issues I see is the axle, their wheels go. Shoop, they say, "See you later, alligator." We don't want that. So there's two options. You can buy these axle guards. I think I found these at Hobby Lobby. Yeah, Hobbies. Yep. Find these at Hobby Lobby. $2. Or you can glue them in there. I prefer to glue them in. They're still able to be pulled out. I mean, these are nice, but I need to conserve weight as much as possible, so that's why I'm not going this route. So I just glue them in there. I don't get real crazy with it. I'll show you here in a second. So we're going to take our glue, we're going to put it in the slot. You can use super glue, that's perfectly fine. I won't disown you for using super glue, but I use wood glue just because I want to be able to pull the axles out if I need to. But we take it, put a fine line in there. We don't want to get it too close to the hub of the wheels, so we kind of stay in a little bit. Kind of see there. We take it, we kind of take our finger and rub it along it. Once we put it on there, I actually did a couple squirts in the center here to kind of help. I screwed up drilling this axle slot out, so it's got a little bit of wiggle, so I don't want the axle going in any further, so just dab it in there. The glue should hold it. I'm going to let it set up before I really mess with the car much more after this, other than holding it with my hand. But for those of you that are like, well, we're building a regular Pinewood car. Well, the same theory works as far as the axles go. Now with weights, that's a different story. This is my favorite style of weight. It's a flat weight. You can put it on top of the car, put it on the bottom, just screws on, or you can glue it on however you need to do it. But I like to center the weight up the best I can by trying to put it more towards the rear. But I don't want it all on the rear. I want probably, if you were to balance it out, probably like a 60-40 ratio, like 40% on the front, 60% on the rear. Somewhere in there. I try not to get too crazy with it. Simply because when you're going down a downhill slope, you got the front just kind of pulling the car down. Now, I'm not going to tell you whether to have it up top or down on the bottom. I don't know what works best. I would say up on the hill, up high on the weight would work better because you got the weight wanting to topple forward, pushing you down. But once you get to the bottom, the car's going to want to level out, and the back wheels are going to want to push. So that's why you kind of want a little more weight on the back, because it's going to raise the car up a little bit, but if you get too much, you're going to pop a wheelie. One of my subscribers and regular commenters, but in 1959, he's telling me that what they were doing for weights was, first off, they had to hand sand the blocks. They didn't have all the fancy power tools like we got right now, at least not readily available. But they would hand sand these cars out to look like an Indy car or whatever. They were usually rounded. But for weight, they would take BB guns, shoot the bottom of the cars, and fill them up full of weight that way. Those that don't know, this subscriber said he was doing this in 1959. They started Pinewood Derby in L.A. I can't remember the exact suburb, but in L.A., California. L.A., Los Angeles. Los Angeles is what Bugs Bunny would say. Pinewood Derby didn't start till 1953, so this subscriber is like a pioneer of Pinewood Derby. So, there's multiple methods of adding weight. We got somewhere in here. You can go get you some stick-on tire weights or wheel weights. You can buy these parts store or wherever. But I mean, you could, I guess if you could do it safely, you could always resort back to using the old BB method. I thought that was pretty neat myself. So I'm gonna let this glue settle down. Maybe wipe the car, some of the graphite off the car real quick. Really, the car's technically ready to go. Other than just a few little knick-knack things. Okay, guys, there's really not a lot more I can do other than waxing the car. At this point, like I said, I just go buy, whatever car wax you can find at Walmart or AutoZone or O'Reilly's Auto Parts. Ow! But just some regular wax, applicator, all that. Put it on the car, buff it on there, make it shine up, make it look good. Take you a good clean rag, wipe it off. Wax on, wax off. Simple as that. Like I said before, I like to get the car to kind of three-wheel. You guys can kind of see here, this wheel's off the ground. You don't want it real high because it could upset the car when it gets to the bottom, but typically being a dirt track racer, you want the left side up, but I'm not overly dramatic on it. We want to, the glue ain't dry or else I would show you firsthand, but now that the wheels are on the car, and you can do this at the race, when you're racing or whatever. With the wheels on the car, you want to take your graphite, granted this, I'm not really doing it because the glue's still wet. You're going to take it, kind of spray it on the inside of the wheel there. Then you'll take the car, you can either lay it on either side, but you want to run that wheel, spin it, so that the graphite gets up on the inside of the wheel, on the wood there. And I said this in an earlier video about doing that. This is the best place to do it. It's with the wheels on the car, because the wheels on the car go around and round. But that's really the last thing that I would do as far as race prep. Now, I may, to make this car a little more aerodynamic, I was going to put underglow lights on it, but with looking at it and kind of mocking them up, it's going to really be a pain in the butt to deal with. So I'm just not going to worry about the lights right now. But what I might do is take me a piece of cardboard and make it flush against the bottom here. That way, I can cover all that up, be a little more aerodynamic. I don't know yet. But other than that, this car is pretty well done, other than a final detail and a couple passes down the track, break the graphite in. You can go inside on the kitchen table. I don't want to do a lot here because this is kind of a rough surface, but just kind of roll the car back and forth. Don't run it down the hallway. Don't crash it into the wall. Just kind of, once you got it graphited, kind of take it back and forth on a surface that you can easily clean up. And before you race, I know I'm kind of getting long-winded here. Just bear with me a second. We're almost done. Before you race, you can kind of see here some oddball things on this wheel. You just want to kind of clean them off. Matter of fact, if you got a little graphite on your fingers, they say that's even better. Put a little graphite on the bottom of the wheels too. You really see it on this one because you can't do burnouts. So this is the next best thing to burnout to get the crap off the wheels. So really, until the glue dries and I'm ready to race it, this car's done. Like I said, detailing it, shining it up a little bit, but I'm going to call this car done. And I think we're going to name it Martin. It just looks more like an Aston Martin. Is it Astro Martin or Aston? I don't remember, but it kind of got that look. Not exactly what I was looking for, but close enough. Still got the fat tire on the back. That's what I was really wanting. If you guys enjoyed this, let me know in the comments down below if it helped you out any. I don't have time to put a regular car together, or else I would do that too. I got one ready to go, so I may do a short video on that. All we gotta do is finish sanding it and put the weight on and all that. But if you guys enjoyed it, leave a comment down below. Let me know if you Pinewood Derby race and do something different. Let me know. Anything. The idea is to help other people out. So I think that's going to be a wrap on Martin here, and we're going to call this car done. I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. Hit the subscribe button. Go over to the Trucking Diaries. That's where I do a lot of my stuff at. Check that out. Hit the subscribe button over there. Like I said, thank you for watching. Y'all stay safe out there. Wash your hands. Just wash your hands.